This video is a direct response to Lumashroom's video titled The Worst Thing About Invincible. I saw that video and I didn't agree with it. I recommend you watch his video first before watching mine, because I counter a lot of the points he made in that video. I'm also going to counter a lot of the points thrown at me on twitter.com after I got ratioed for my contentious tweet about Amber. I apologize if my tweet hurt your feelings.
Sorry, not sorry.
Before I start, I do want to state that I agree with Lumashroom on one thing.
Invincible is a great show and you should totally watch it.
Before watching this video too, of course. Spoilers, I won't be talking about the comic, only the show. I'm going to get to the anti-Amber points, but first I just want to give you context about the world of Invincible, as presented in Season 1. In this world, every experienced superhero who's in a relationship has a partner who knows their secret identity. Because being a superhero is a dangerous profession. It's like being a firefighter. You're going to want to let your partner know you could potentially get killed at your job. Another thing about the superhero profession is that it's time consuming. If you had a job with a lot of hours and no set schedule, your partner should be the first one to know of this. It lets them be mentally prepared for when you disappear off to go save the world. This is very evident in the show with the way Red Rush acts with his girlfriend and the way Deborah is very nonchalant about Omni-Man disappearing for a week.
Dad saved us from the Flaxons, but he went into one of their portals.
Oh, so he'll be late for dinner?
Because Omni-Man is honest to her about being a superhero, and that's the only thing he's honest about. I know the majority of superhero fans are used to the Spider-Man idea that by not letting your family know you're a superhero, you're actually keeping them safe. Well, that's not true. Not even in Spider-Man is that true, because his loved ones continue to be in danger even though they don't know he's Spider-Man. You know what would be an excellent way for his loved ones to avoid danger? Is by them knowing that Peter Parker is a magnet for it. Experienced superheroes in Invincible know this. This is why they tell their partners their secret identity for their protection. It's just good communication, especially if you're serious about a partner. Now I want you to keep this in mind while I go over Lumashroom's points, because we're going to keep coming back to this. Around the 3-minute mark, Lumashroom states that Amber is justified in her outburst on Mark, for not just ditching her while a monster attacks, but also for lying about being a superhero. But then Lumashroom claims that because she figured out that weeks ago that Mark is secretly a superhero, this actually undoes all of her justification. And this is his main argument in his video, and a lot of people's main argument on Twitter too. But why? Why does this undo her justification? Because according to Lumashroom, it's okay for Mark to lie because he's a superhero. Mark has this huge responsibility, and that is the reason why it's okay for him to lie to his significant other, Amber. You know, the one person who would want to know if you put your life constantly in danger? Then Lumashroom doubles down on this point with a montage of Mark getting hurt and saving people. He literally says it's okay for Mark to lie to his partner and claims it isn't okay for Amber to lie because she wasn't beaten half to death by an interdimensional furry?
He lied to you because he has a responsibility to something greater than high school romance. What's your excuse?
You know, because that makes you less important. Putting yourself in danger and saving people doesn't make you above other people. You don't get the validity to lie just because you have a huge responsibility to the world. You're a superhero. You should be the last person to be lying, especially to those closest to you. The whole show is about how lying to your partner is a bad thing, actually. You don't get special privileges because you're a superhero, especially in a world filled with superheroes. Mark isn't special. Oh, but Mark stopped the meteor. They could have used the secret government laser to stop it, or his dad who's right next to him in this scene.
We're fighting because you lied to me.
Yeah, Amber, he lied to you in an effort to protect both his secret identity and the safety of those for whom he cares, should danger ever find its way to them.
Keeping this secret from Amber doesn't protect her either. She still was in danger even when Mark kept it to himself. Remember my Spider-Man point? This is literally that. Mark being a superhero doesn't give him the allowance to lie. Doing good deeds doesn't work as a trade for doing bad deeds later. And if you think it does, I don't want to hear your opinion on cops. Then Lumashroom insinuates that because Amber was smart enough to figure out Mark is invincible, she should be smart enough to come forward and tell Mark that she knows, taking the weight off of Mark's shoulders. Two things. First, it is not her secret identity to tell. She isn't the one putting herself in danger. Mark is. So it's Mark's responsibility to tell her, you know, because it's important for a superhero to handle all their responsibilities. There's so many perfect moments before the attack on the campus where he could have told her, but he just didn't.
Hold on.
Why?
Because I'm,
You're what?
I'm I'm gonna do better, I promise.
Also, you don't have to be smart to figure out that Mark, a newbie superhero, is invincible. In the first episode, he tries to fly off from his porch where he could have been easily spotted. He practices his powers in his backyard. Are you telling me a neighbor couldn't hear that? And worst of all is his low-effort lie about the 1-week mission to Mars.
Where are you going?
You know, it's deserty. Hardly anyone goes there. There's almost no buildings or anything.
You don't know where you're going.
I signed up last minute.
He doesn't even try to come up with a fake name for the country he's lying to Amber about.
That is a strangely non-specific story.
This man was not slick. Look at this from the point of view of Amber. You have a partner who's obviously a superhero. Like, obviously. It's very insulting if Mark thinks he could get away with it without trying. But Amber holds on to the idea that Mark is at the core a good person, that they'll be honest about their dangerous profession. She even agrees to go to the same college as him with the hopes that eventually he's going to tell her about being a superhero before it's too late. And I know what you're going to say, Mark does tell Amber eventually. Yeah, but only tells her so Amber could stop being mad at him. He doesn't tell her because he trusts her, and that's what Amber is really mad about in the first place. This whole scene was Mark trying to get a get out of jail free card. Him telling the truth after months of lying doesn't magically fix the relationship. That's not how it works. Amber was hoping Mark would know this, but he didn't, and that's why she is rightfully upset and breaks up with him.
Lady, you are stupid and unimportant. Look at what this 17-year-old fledgling superhero has to deal with on a regular basis and explain to me why placating your desire for validation shouldn't be at the bottom of his list of priorities.
Oh boy, Lumo Shroom. I don't know how to tell you this, but when you decide to be in a relationship with someone, that is a promise that you will dedicate time to them. And if there's something impeding you from spending that time, like an incredibly dangerous job, you should be honest to your partner about that. Trust me, they would want to know. Then Lumo Shroom claims that the whole show is covering for Amber, making her out to be perfect and flawless. I wouldn't say she's perfect. I mean, she lets a guy who invites her to hang out make her wait by herself for an hour in his room and still gives him a second, third, and fourth chance. She even rekindles their relationship after Omni-Man's betrayal. She keeps giving Mark chances even though he keeps letting her down in crucial moments of their relationship. That doesn't sound like a perfect person to me. That sounds like a teenager. Don't get me wrong, Mark is a teenager too, but you know, relationships are 50-50. If Mark was honest about where he's going every time he ditches her, that would have made her worry less, and also make Mark worry less because he wouldn't be in constant fear that she would leave him. That's called good communication. Lumashroom is also mad that William and Eve are also on Amber's side after the breakup. Why would the two characters with experiences in relationships not be on Amber's side? Did he forget that Eve broke up with Rex because he was lying to her? Eve would totally be on Amber's side. Did Lumashroom also forget that William and Eve vouch for Mark all the time?
I know it's hard to love someone when they don't seem to love you back, but Mark loves you. He'd be here if he could.
He also makes this ridiculous claim that Amber should have had a character arc.
Amber does not have a character arc. She has a character loop. When we met her, she was confident, intelligent, and philanthropic. By the end of season 1, she hasn't changed.
You know it's Mark's story, right? She just plays a part in it. This is such a weird demand out of a side character, no less. Stories aren't required to have all their side characters go through arcs in order to be good. Invincible is a good show and it has tons of characters without arcs, like Donald, Art, Duplicate, Damien Darkblood, the Mauler twins, Monster Girl, Titan, William, and fucking Cecil. This just sounds like a filler point in order to pad out the runtime of this video. Speaking of filler points, what is this claim that Amber is gaslighting Mark? I see other people make this claim too, and I swear they're all using it as the new trendy phrase. Look up the definition of gaslight and tell me at what point is she making Mark question his sanity? Is the claim of Mark lying to her not true, or are people just using buzzwords? I'm voting for buzzwords. Lumashroom then wraps up the video by saying that Mark shouldn't have been entertaining Amber. Like, he shouldn't have been committed to Amber? Lumashroom, do you know that when you're in a relationship with someone, you are by default committed to them? It's that obvious. And like I stated before, you show commitment by being honest with them. It's one of the basic steps of a good relationship. It's called good communication. I feel like the majority of the points in this video come from Lumashroom not liking that this gory superhero show has a high school relationship subplot, and I bet he's not alone in that feeling too. It's okay if that's how you feel about the show. I'm just hoping this video can convince you that you shouldn't take it out all on Amber. She isn't malicious, she's just naive, just like Mark. That all being said, I don't think Mark should have told her his secret identity, because Mark should have not been dating her in the first place. That's what this whole subplot is about. I think Mark is a good person who has his heart in the right place, but he's young and isn't perfect. He asked out a girl right after a funeral that should have told Mark that being a superhero isn't easy. He is reckless, he named himself invincible, and he gets his ass kicked in every episode. The whole show is about Mark learning to become a superhero, and making mistakes along the way, like the mistake of not having good communication with the people he's closest to, and how people can get the feeling that you don't trust them when you don't let them be part of the huge and obvious aspect of your life. Superheroes shouldn't lie, especially to the people they let into their lives, and that's what connects Mark and Amber's relationship to Debbie and Omni-Man's relationship. The only difference is the scope. You see, Omni-Man tries to convince Mark that he is above people because he's a powerful being who puts himself in danger and that earns him the right to get something out of people. Mark knows that isn't true. He puts himself in danger not because he gets something out of it. Mark puts himself in danger because he knows that's the right thing to do. As a powerful super being, Mark knows he could help people, not rule people like Omni-Man wants. That's the difference. That's why Mark learns it's not okay for him to lie to Amber, because he knows it's not okay for Omni-Man to lie to Debbie. I hope this convinces you on why Amber isn't the worst, and if it doesn't, leave a comment below. I might answer you. Maybe, if I have time. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and read Villainverse.